Once again, my name is Rolando Alfaro, and welcome to My American Dream. Thank you for joining me. Last time we talked about a few things. We've talked about discipline, attitude, and last time we talked about fear and how debilitating that can be. How, we're scared of what other people might think of us, how we're going to be perceived, that we're not going to get it, that we're going to be rejected. Today we're going to talk about another topic that over the last few days has come up a lot, and I've seen the effects that it has on people. And that is goal setting. How many of us do set goals? We all have a mental list of goals. One day I'm gonna A, B, C, D, right? I'm gonna be president, I'm gonna be an astronaut. Ever since we're kids, we have goals. But how many of us do write them down and work for them? One time I was in this seminar, and this is a seminar for what I do for a living. And in this seminar, one of the guys I was talking was a very successful person in my field. Extremely successful. We're talking about, 8-figure income. So he knew what he was doing. But one of the things that he shared was a study that Harvard did one time with all their business school students. And they tracked them from freshman year through 20 years. So that's a long span. And so basically the gist of this was that they asked all the freshmen how many of them had goals, and of course everybody raised their hand. Then they asked how many of them had written their goals down. And they saw that only 13% of those wrote their goals down. And then they asked how many of those changed their goals on a monthly basis, and only 5% did that. So they tracked this group of people through 20 years. After 20 years of tracking these people, they came back, they compiled, and they saw the results. Of the people that didn't write any goals, they were successful. They were great, the ones that just had the goals in their mind. They went out and they got, great jobs, great careers, great lives. Then out of those, the 13% that wrote them down, they saw that they were 10% more, or 10 times more lucrative they had lucrative careers than the ones that didn't. So they were 10 times further ahead than their peers who didn't write a goal down. And the ones that changed their goals all the time were 16 times more successful than the ones that just thought about a goal. Now, if that's all it takes, that's huge. Because how many of us are going to get to something that's in our heads? How many of us actually sit there and say, oh, you know what, I want to be an astronaut, and you keep working at that since the age of 5? Very few of us do. That's why you don't see NASA having an overflux of astronauts, because not a lot of us make it. Now, if you write something down, you put it somewhere where you can see it, how more likely are you to get that? I've tried it out, and I can tell you it works a lot better, because you're reminding yourself what you're doing and what you're doing it for. So that's the whole thing about this, is that if you have a goal, write it down. If you really want to get to it, see it every day. Write it out. Put it in the place where you can see it. I have a mentor who I coach with who, one of his goals was to have a 7-figure income. So he wrote it down, put it on the desk on the frame where he could see it. Every time he picked up the phone, he would see what his goal was. Now, just because he wrote his goal down doesn't mean that you're going to get things like this. No, it's going to take a while. We're just not going to automatically, ooh, I wrote it down, magic, oh, there it is. No, we're still going to have to work. That's the magic of this. Work. So, he wrote the goal down where he could see it every day. Every time he picked up the phone to make a call, every time, he grabbed his keys, he would make sure to see that goal. Within 5 years, he had a 7-figure income. Why did he want a 7-figure income? So that he could help his family and those around him. Now, what are your goals? What do you want to do? That is the question you should be asking yourself. I know what I want. I want to have the ability to help my family and to help the people around me, help them. That's the whole point of this, right? So that's my goal, and I write it down and I put it in a place where I can see it. So I challenge you to do the same. On the comments below, please put down what you want, what your goals are. That'll be great. And once again, my name is Rolando Farr, and thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.
I think your dog really wanted to be petted.